So this is going to be your little like forearm care routine. So for your tennis elbow that you've been kind of dealing with. So we're going to have a couple things for you to do. The first thing is just going to be some stretching. So I know we talked about it really briefly last time I was home, but kind of just stretching out that top side and getting some of this stuff to just lengthen out. Now that it seems like the inflammation has kind of died down, we want to make sure we're still stretching it and keeping that muscle tissue very like pliable. So stretching will be first. The next few things are just gonna be like a little bit of strengthening, and then depending on how your elbow responds, we can start to add in some more stuff if that seems like it's able to handle the initial stuff that we give it. So the first thing you're gonna do is stretch it out, and it would be worth to do on both sides, but if you're really strapped for time, you can just do the side that's bothering you. So the stretch we're gonna have you do is a forearm extensor or wrist extensor stretch. So you're gonna plop down the ground if you can, scoot back a little bit, put the top side of your hand on the floor, and then we're going to take that elbow and that shoulder, rotate it out, kind of push forward until you get a nice stretch running through here. And again, you want to feel like you're getting that top side to stretch out, specifically that area that's been giving you some problems. Find a stretch point that feels manageable and not overbearing, and then just try to sit there for about 90 seconds to 2 minutes. And we want to feel like a little bit of that tension starts to go away. So after 90 seconds, 2 minutes, you can switch sides, same thing, just kind of plop down. Again, start by putting that top side of the hand on the ground, rotating out and try to push that elbow forward. You can also lean back to get a little more stretch running through here. If getting down the ground is hard to do that, you can always do it seated. Just kind of bring your hand out in front. Again, same thing, just applying a little bit of pressure here. And we're trying to rotate the elbow and the shoulder out as we pull with this top hand down. So pulling down here, pushing up, rotating out with the elbow, again, to get that stretch kind of run through the top side. So again, 90 seconds to 2 minutes, get some of that tension to dissipate. The next two things are just gonna be more like strengthening things. So the first one is gonna be some isometrics. So you're just gonna take your arm, kind of pin it against something so it's stabilized. You're gonna take your hand, make a really loose fist, extend your wrist up. Now with your other hand, apply a little bit of pressure. And all we're trying to do is make what's called an isometric contraction. So you want to feel this top side stuff working at a reasonable level. So you can start like 20 or 30%. Hold it for about like 10 to 15 seconds. Relax. Do 1 to 2 more as long as it feels okay. Just till you feel like you've gotten a little bit of fatigue on this top side. After you've done about like 2 to 3 reps of that, again, like 10 to 15 seconds, holding that top position. Do the same thing on the other side. So pinning the elbow, extending the wrist, applying a little bit of pressure just so we feel like we're getting this top side to work. So after you've done like 2 to 3 reps of that, you're going to finish off with what's called the wrist extension capsular car. So you're going to take your hand, you're going to try to extend it as far as you can go, and then we should feel this side doing the work. We're going to slowly pull the hand in, and then instead of going all the way in and flexing, we're going to stop here, extend, come back the other way, stop till you get to that halfway point, extend, come back in. So we're just kind of working in this little section here, and we're working on strengthening this top side. So again, you want to feel like a lot of that work is coming from the top side. Do what feels like at a reasonable amount in terms of tension, so don't make this stuff go crazy intense or work crazy hard. Just enough to feel like you're working these muscles, okay? And you can start really low levels, like 10-20%, just kind of working back and forth. And as you feel more comfortable, you can drive more force into it, try to extend a little more. Okay, so try to do that like 2 to 3 times a week. I'll put it in your program too.